I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. That's, when I say I don't deserve that, I'm not talking about the applause. I think I deserve that. What I meant was there's one guy up there giving me the finger, and I don't deserve that. I don't think I do deserve. This is great. It's great to be back, and it's every day, and today is a special day. Today is, I don't know if you know this, are there any, I'm from Canada. I'm from Toronto, Canada. Are there any Canadians here? There's about three. There's three of us. I don't know if you know that, but today is Canada Day, and it's the kind of our July 4th. So it's Canada Day, and I thought I would just take a moment with, and I want you to see that. And you don't have to applaud. I had nothing to do with it. They came up with the holiday long before I was born, and I thought I would just take a moment and celebrate, so I will. Woohoo! All right. That was the end of my celebration. And for the French Canadians, oh! So I'll do that. And I feel like I've done my part. That's very patriotic, and I miss home. And let's say hi to Goldie in the Studio One band. Terrific, and it's just I'm loving this job, and I can't tell you how much I love this job. But not only, and I talk about this all the time, I'm experiencing new things, not only at work but at home. And I don't know if okay, I'm going to tell you this one. I don't edit myself. Last night I went out with my wife, as I should, because she's my wife, and she said, Howie, let's go shopping, and she had to go shopping for her, and she bought underwear, because she wears underwear like I would imagine most of you do, right? You know what? It's none of my business. You don't have to tell me, but you know what? It's none of your business that my wife's wearing underwear. Anyway, she went, and I was in the ladies section. I haven't spent a lot of time in there, and she went and bought this thing. It was I saw the tag. It's an 18-hour bra. I have no idea what that is. Why do you time your underwear? Why would you do that? I'm wearing 18-hour underpants. You know what? Guys have no time. We'll wear them till they rot off. There's no. Yours look. I guess yours look pretty because you only have them for 18 hours. Do you know why they're 18 hours? Were you putting your hand? Why are they 18 hours? What is that? I have no idea what that means. Does anybody know what that means? No? Nobody? Is it? Did I really see it? What you're telling me? What is it, ma'am?
You can wear them 18 hours.
You can wear them?
Yes.
You can wear them for 18 hours?
Yes.
And then what happens? Do they explode? Are you wearing an 18-hour bra, ma'am?
Well, I certainly am.
Okay. Wow.
You can take them off at night, and you know.
I'm sorry?
You take them off at night, and then that makes the 24 hours.
It's going to take a minute for me to do the math. You take them off at night.
Yeah, usually you only sleep like 6 hours. So
you sleep 6 hours?
Yeah, if they're 18 hours, then that's a total of 24 hours.
So rather than... So in lieu of a watch, instead of wearing a watch, when somebody says to you, what time is it? You just go, well, about 4 o'clock. Seems to be 4:30. What is your name?
My name's Ruth Ann Wilson.
Your name is?
Ruth Ann Wilson.
Ruth Ann Wilson.
I'm a Southerner, so you probably can't
No
understand
kidding.
me too good. Well, see,
And where are you from, Ruth Ann?
I'm from Pickens, South Carolina. But see, I think I talk normal. But, you know, talking to other people, I think I talk normal. I can't tell I've got an accent. Can you tell it?
I don't remember what the question was. But can I tell you have an accent? Yes, I can tell you have it. It's a very pretty accent. I find that very attractive on ladies.
I appreciate that. Thank
well, you. That is. And are you out here on vacation?
Yes, we're on vacation with my 3 friends and my husband and 2 of our other friends out there.
You're like my first guest on this show. I have. What do you do back in? What do you do back in? You said you're from
Pickens, South Carolina. Do you
Pickens?
want me to come up there?
Pardon me? Do I want you to come up here?
Yeah, if you want me to be your first guest,
choice?
I'll go ahead and get the chair.
You're welcome to. You want to come up here?
Yeah, let me go.
Sit down. Sit down. Have a seat. I'm going to go take your seat. Thank you. Yeah. Wow. This Ruth Ann, isn't she terrific? I love this show.
Oh,
People
I love
all
it.
over America are saying, honey, get in here. Ruth Ann is on.
Hey, I love this too.
Pardon me?
I really love this. Can I ask somebody for a joke? Could I do that?
It's my show, Ruth Ann.
I know, but she really knows a good joke. The one in the yellow about sauerkraut.
You know what? I'm a professional. I'll provide the comedy. Do you have a good joke? Do you have a good joke, Ruth Ann?
What now?
What now?
Yes.
Do you have a good joke for us?
No, I don't, but she does. The one that's sitting beside you in the
The
yellow.
one that's sitting beside me has a
Yes,
joke?
a good
it's gotta
joke
be,
about
it's a
sauerkraut.
good, clean family joke? This is an afternoon family kind of show. No, it's not.
She don't think it's too good. I thought it was okay.
You know...
But you know why I'm out up here, Howie? I would like to say hello to my children and
Go right
grandchildren. I'd like to
Go
say
right
hello to Pam and Jeremy.
Look in the camera. Look in that camera right in
Okay.
front of you.
Okay, I would like to say hello to Pam and Jeremy Armit from Pickens, South Carolina.
Yeah, right.
And their two grandchildren, Jay and Kelsey.
Okay.
And also to my son, Jimmy,
You know what?
and my
Is there
son,
any way
Brad.
that I can... Ruth Ann, is there any way that I can be part of this show? It seems
I
like a
love
terrific
this.
show. This seems like a terrific show, Ruth Ann.
You ready to come back up here?
You can sit down. Stay there. You can stay there. You can stay. This is very... this is exciting.
Oh, I love it. I
mean,
do.
this is the first time I've been such a fan of yours
do
from the moment...
Well,
From the moment I met you, and just to see you in person, can I touch you?
Well, would you like to hire me?
Would I like to hire you?
Yes,
What
hire
would you be, Ruth Ann? You know what? You can time all our female staff's bras.
Okay, I certainly could. I could probably do a good job at it.
You could do a good job. Well, that is
Yes,
great. You're a terrific sport. And how long are you out here for?
We'll be leaving Friday.
You'll be leaving Friday.
Flying back.
You'll be
really, I had never flown but 15 minutes. I like to had a heart attack on the plane.
You only flew for 15 minutes?
No, before. I'd only been in a plane for 15 minutes, and then we
Where
came
can
out
you
here
go for 15 minutes?
from Greenville to
Okay,
Charlotte.
right.
I flew, and it was like 15 minutes, and I was like Mel Tillis. Listen,
Right.
y'all, I was like Mel Tillis when I
at
got on the
home.
plane. I couldn't talk. I was all tongue-tied. I couldn't talk.
You couldn't talk. Well, not like today.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot better.
Somehow, I can't imagine you tongue-tied.
You can't imagine
I
me
can't
tongue-tied.
imagine you
I
tongue-tied.
used to be shy when I was in the first grade.
Not anymore.
When I was in the first grade, it took me to February before I ever spoke to anybody. I was
Right.
so scared, really.
You know, can I just say something?
Yes, go ahead.
You know I have other guests on this show.
You ready for me to step down?
No, I want you to stay here. Why don't you do what I would do, because I can take a break and relax and get ready. You know who's on the show? This is a beautiful woman, and
Yes,
she writes. She's a
she is
supermodel.
beautiful. Yes, she is
And
pretty.
yes, tell them who it is.
It's supermodel Veronica Webb.
And then also from a great show we watch on ABC on Friday nights.
Boy Meets World's Will Friedle. Is that his name?
Will Friedle.
Will Friedle.
Will Friedle. Will Friedle.
Listen, if you don't know
Honey, get in here. They got Will Friedle on the show.
and if you don't know who he is, he's the National Watermelon.
No, not him, not him.
I'm just reading it.
This is another guest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
no, it's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, don't. Hey, it's your first show.
Oh, I
anyway, you know, in America, everybody gets a talk show. I bet you this is your pilot. I did Regis and Kathy Lee. You do Howie. Next week, you'll see the Ruth Ann show. Okay, we have the... Go ahead.
National Watermelon Seed Spitting Champions.
They're here.
Listen.
And
We also
the
have
creator of rock and roll is here today. We're going to have so much fun with him.
Little Richard.
We have that and a lot more, so stay right where you are. Wow. I'm sitting here with Ruth Ann Wilson, and if that's not enough, this next lady is, she became famous as the first African-American spokesmodel for Revlon. She's now a published writer. I'll show you her book right here. She's got her own book. She writes for magazines. She's a correspondent on Interview. Please welcome the beautiful Veronica Webb. Wow.
Hey, Howie.
Thanks for being here on the Ruth Ann Wilson Show. I'm gonna.
I know. Ruth Ann,
Isn't it great?
you're so good.
She is terrific, isn't she? And you're terrific too. Now well, obviously, and you should be. You're beautiful, but you're a supermodel, right? Are you a supermodel? You're not just a model. You're a supermodel. I think that's amazing.
It's one of those funny pop culture terms, that happened in the '80s. It kind of stuck, but
it's a good thing to be stuck with.
It's a great thing to be stuck with, and I tell you that when I started out modeling, well, first of all, I never thought I could do it,
How did you get started? Did you go into it?
Well, the first time what happened was, I always kind of had a fantasy, like maybe I could be a model or something, but I didn't know how to go about it because I'm from Detroit. I don't have any background in show business.
Wow.
Oh, my people are out there. Hello. I have no background in show business. I didn't know anybody in a big city. I had never worn a designer dress in my life. And I was about 15. I was walking home from school, and this guy said to me, "Oh, you should be a model. I work for Hudson's, which is our local department store.
That's a good line.
Come over right now because we're doing the catalog."
And you just went?
No, something in my mind said, let me go and bring a friend with me. And he said, yeah, bring all your friends,
A very strong
right?
friend.
So, I went to my friend's house, and her father said, "No, you all can't go. Go back with your parents. You go back with your own parents." So I went the next day with my sister to exactly where the guy told me to go. And I'm walking through the department store, and I'm like all in the back and everything, and there's nobody around. It was an abandoned storage room.
In an abandoned storage room?
Yeah, I ended up in
He said, "You'd be a perfect model. Meet me in an abandoned storage room tomorrow."
Yeah,
I wouldn't go.
Well, no, he didn't tell me it was an abandoned storage room. It turned out to be. But it's like in my book, Veronica website, it's all about lessons learned. There's a right way and a wrong way to get into show business, and there's no shortcuts. And when I first came to New York...
No, but was he legitimate?
No, he was not legitimate.
Oh.
Howie, think about it. He told me to go to an abandoned storage room.
Hey, listen. I'm new at this. I'm no Ruth Ann Wilson. But No, but how did you actually get your start, though?
Well, the way I got my start was I was working as a cashier in Soho, and a hairdresser came in. He told me that I should go to all these agencies and be a model, and some agents came in. And because of that early lesson I had, I knew, A, call the Better Business Bureau, B, call these agencies, and C, call the magazines to see if they've heard of any of these people who, were telling me to come in. And so, I outline all that stuff in the book for people who really are thinking about getting into modeling or acting or anything like that, so that you're safe and you're okay and you can end up having a good experience.
Right. What happened in the abandoned storage room? Was that not?
Well, fortunately, it was a day later and he didn't happen to be there.
Oh, good.
But had he been there, I might not be here right now.
Great. And then you ended up going to New York and mingling with
well, I was in New York, right, and I was going to college, and I really thought my major was partying, and I ended up dropping out of college very quickly, which happens to a lot of people when they don't have much guidance when they go to college.
But you became the model that we know you.
Yeah, I did.
And then you started hanging out with you were hanging out with Madonna. I think that's kind of cool. Was that
Well,
fun?
It was about it must have been like 1988 or 89. It was just when Madonna was on the cover of Time, and it was the Like a Virgin tour, and she was like this cultural phenomenon. She was everywhere. She still is, but at that point it was all fresh and everything. And this designer, Azadine Alaya, who I was very close to, was designing clothes for her, but he spoke no English. And I had learned to speak French in a very short time, so he took me to translate for him and Madonna. And he had made this coat for her, this ostrich coat to show her, which was supposed to be my coat. And we go to this party.
You were supposed to have the ostrich coat?
Yeah, I was supposed to have the ostrich coat. It was mine.
Okay.
Okay?
But you said he made it for her.
Well, it was the prototype for one that was going to be for her tour.
Oh, I
right?
see. Okay.
So we go to this party, and she decides that she has to wear the coat to the party, so I have to give it up. I'm a little kid, nobody model, and she's Madonna. She gets the coat, right? So we go to the party. She has it on for like 2 seconds, gets photographed, right? Takes the coat and throws it on a radiator. I was like,
You never throw an ostrich coat on a radiator.
I can't.
Everyone knows
that. I can't believe you did that. You know, so being like that young, you know, and so passionate about clothes and everything, I went over and I said, you know what, you have to go hang your coat up. You can't do that. And she looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, go on, hang up your coat.
That's fair. Wow, that's a lot of nerve to go up to Madonna and tell her to hang up her coat. You got to meet a lot of big people. I heard your idol, you finally got to meet your idol when you were doing an interview show in London.
Oh, no, this is a funny story. You know, not all of us have the confidence of Ruth Ann when we get on TV the first time. And, you know, we certainly can't, you know, sort of, you know, make our guests do exactly what we want them to do. So I'm so excited. I was such a Prince fan in high school. Like, I wore purple everything every day, like all the way down to my underwear. And, well, oh, just like Howie. Are you a Prince fan?
Big Prince fan.
So,
Prince Pan? Like, I like Prince and Peter Pan, so it's a Prince Pan. Okay.
So, you know, I finally get this interview with Prince. You know, I happen to meet him at a club, and I'm doing this new show, and he says, yes, he'll help me, and he'll give me the interview, and we're going to do it live, and he's going to play a song live from Wembley Stadium that no one has ever heard. And so he plays the song. We have like $200,000 worth of satellite equipment outside. It's time to do the interview, and he says to me, do you mind if I wear a mask? I'm like, well, okay.
This wasn't Halloween.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, every day is close to Halloween for rock stars, so, you know, you kind of gave in. So I said, well, you know, what kind of mask? He says, well, a lace mask. So I'm like, well, you know, at least, you know, it's not a Nixon mask or something. People will be able to see you.
Right.
So the producer's standing over there by the camera, and he's counting down, you know, the seconds before the live broadcast. He's going, and his hands are like this, and Prince says to me, I need an interpreter. I'm like, no, 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 no. No, 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 this is going out in English. You don't need an interpreter. There's no reason to have an interpreter.
What country were you in?
So, England. So he says, I've got to have an interpreter. Producer's hand goes like this. He walks out. He sits down. And Maite, who's now his wife, sits on his lap. And so, you know, I ask him a question. He doesn't answer me. And so then he whispers the answer to Maite. And she whispers the answer, and then she says the answer to me. And this whole thing is going on, and people are like calling up, and they want to know if it's a joke, and
oh, he used an interpreter for the whole...
The entire thing. It was the most...
Are you still a big Prince fan?
I am still a big Prince fan, because no matter how eccentric he is, you know, nothing can mess with that music.
Because I'm like that, too. Sometimes I'll only speak to people through Ruth Ann. So I understand what he was doing. Just quickly... I want to mention that you have this program, this Eckerd program. You may want to mention that for a second. You want to talk about that? Tell the people what that is?
You know, there's a great thing going on. Eckerd Drugstores is having their 100th anniversary, and they are honoring women, 100 women, who all of you can go to an Eckerd Drugstore and nominate who do volunteerism programs in their community. So if you know anybody who's doing a literacy program, they're helping the homeless, they're helping battered women, they're running safe houses, anything that makes your community better, go and nominate them at Eckerd, and they're going to be taken to a big symposium on volunteerism and community action at Emory University in October.
And an important thing. So you go out and you do that. You've been a great sport. Will you stick with us for a while and have some fun?
You know what? I might have to bounce out of here before the watermelon eating contest.
Okay.
But it was good to be here.
Okay, so you have to run.
Gotta run.
Yeah, okay, but I want to thank you so much for being here.
And congratulations.
Ruth Ann's going to stay. You're going to stay, right?
Yes, that's
Ruth Ann's going to stay, so you bounce out and go get an interpreter, and we'll talk after this. You'll understand. Thank you so much for being here.
Closed captioning for the Howie Mandel Show is brought to you by... If you...
I'm back. So's Ruth Ann. Veronica had to run.
Oh, I know.
We got a lot more show later on, and we're going to have the world's longest what's it called? Watermelon pits.
Spitting contest.
We're going to spit.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't that be great? And then Little Richard is gonna be wild. Wait till you see what Little Richard's gonna do. We got a lot of great stuff coming up, but this is great too. The girls love him. Moms want someone just like him for their daughters. He plays the older brother on ABC Boy Meets World. Let's look at a clip of him right now. Watch this.
How'd you find me?
You live here.
Not anymore. I'm volunteering for the Witness Protection Program.
Eric, you didn't witness any crime.
I hit my father. I saw the whole thing. By this time tomorrow, I'll no longer be your brother. I'll be Dr. Abraham Shapiro, Passaic, New Jersey, cardiologist.
Please welcome Will Friedle. Thanks for being here, Mr. Friedle.
Mr. Friedle, watermelon spitting champion of the world.
Yes, only on Howie.
so great.
This is
so
great. Well, it's
fun.
great to have you here.
Well,
you know,
thank you.
and my family and I watch you on Friday nights.
Well,
we
thank
do.
you. I've been watching you all the time, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well, we've both been watching each other.
Isn't that cool?
And we're watching each other right now.
Right now, as we speak.
The beauty of, you know what I notice, and maybe because I'm a parent, you're very young. I mean, you're still, how old are you right now?
I'm 21.
So the show's been going on for like 5 years.
Yeah, we're going on our 6th year.
So you moved out here, I can do the math, you moved out here when you were
16.
16.
Mm-hmm.
And did your parents, your whole family come out?
No, my folks actually stayed back east. You know, I was raised in Connecticut, and
Right.
They couldn't leave. And my folks and I have a really close relationship, so they knew that this was something that I wanted to do and that I had to do. So,
So they let you go?
I moved out here.
By yourself?
Well, no, I actually, I had, my oldest brother's fraternity brother was my legal guardian.
Oh, so they could really trust him.
So yeah, I mean, we moved out here and moved to a place called the Oakwood Apartments in beautiful downtown Burbank.
Oh, that's
where
a
we're at.
really hot spot.
Yeah,
For those of you that don't know.
Don't know the Oakwood. There's two kinds of people at the Oakwood.
Right.
There's either wannabe actors, which
Right.
is what I was at the time, of course,
Right.
or divorced men,
Or divorced.
which is
men.
all that there was at the Oakwood.
So it's a good place for a
it was
young
great place for a
16-year-old
swinging
boy
16-year-old guy
and a
sitting
frat
around
kid
going,
hanging out.
please, you know, just sitting around with guys at the pool going, don't ever get married, kid. You just get end up right back here at the Oakwood. You know, it's terrible.
So is your family in the business at all?
No, both my parents are lawyers.
They're lawyers.
Both of them, yes.
So they were...
Judge Wapner and the missus, so.
Was that tough growing up with
No,
attorneys?
you know, actually, there are a lot of benefits, I think, to growing up with two lawyers. First of all, I can out-argue anybody. Nobody will ever take me in an argument, because what I would do is I'd go up to my parents and I'd say, like, hey, you know, Mom and Dad, I want to stay out an hour after curfew tonight. And they'd say, well, why? And I'd have to come up with an argument about why I wanted to stay out for an hour after curfew.
Exhibit A.
Seriously, that's what I felt like I was on trial. And if there was something bad, they go, okay, stop. You lost right there, and here's why you lost. Go back, think about it again, come back to us in 10 minutes, and then represent your argument. So I would,
you
know,
were
go
always appealing.
Seriously, yeah, I'd go to my room, and I'd be calling, like, you know, the Supreme Court, just like, you know, I need, Friedle versus the state of 1974. My brother stayed out once, and if you'll remember the video, so I mean,
So with allowance money, you're getting representation.
seriously, yeah, I was hiring lawyers.
Your brothers, you just mentioned your brothers.
Yes, I have two older brothers.
And are they in the business?
No, my oldest brother is a stockbroker in New York City.
Right.
And my middle brother is what we like to refer to as a wandering nomad. He's one of those
Affectionately?
guys, yeah, of course. He's one of those guys that has been trying to find himself for like just the first 27 years of his life.
Where's he looking?
Well, right, I just got a call 2 days ago saying, hey, this is from my parents saying, hey, your brother found a farm in Australia that will let him work there for food.
Wow.
So I get calls from Nepal. We never know where, you know, he'll call and say, I'm in Japan, I'm in Nepal, I'm in, you know,
Wow.
and he's all over the country.
That sounds great. That sounds like a real adventure.
Yeah, we you know.
Are they
look at it
supportive
like-
of your career?
Oh,
your brothers?
absolutely, absolutely. You know, we all have a good time. And, you know, my brother actually just left this morning. He came out with his wife from New York, and we all just have a good time. We're hanging out and
And are they proud of
having
you?
fun.
You know, you're the
Absolutely, yeah.
big actor. Do they?
Well, you know, they keep me grounded. They make sure that I don't, you know,
How do they do
walk
that?
around going, I'm the big actor kind of thing.
How do they do?
Well, one time I was 16, and I said something that they thought was a little bit conceited, which
Right.
I don't even frankly remember what it was. And we
Right.
were sitting around with my family and my girlfriend at the time, and they picked me up and dunked my head in the toilet.
That'll keep you grounded.
That kept me grounded. Never said anything even remotely close to
Did
be
they
conceited
flush?
again. Yes, they did. Yes.
That gives you a nice little
I got
swirl.
the swirly, yeah. nice little blue hair for quite a while.
look like
which
one of
was
those
April
Dairy
Fresh,
Queen
which was good. So yeah, they make sure about that.
Somebody told me a story about a dryer.
Yeah, my brothers have this thing with appliances and me. So there was a time I was about 5 or 6 years old, and my older brother, the wandering nomad, decided that we should play hide and seek. Great idea, 5, 6 years old, want to play some hide and seek? He said hide in the dryer. So I said, that's a great idea, except we have one of those dryers that when you shut the door, it turns on. So I was in the dryer just going, Yeah.
Did they find you?
Yeah, my mom came running down with the fabric softener. Everything was good. So,
and you have no static cling.
I have no static cling, which is good. I'm nice and...
But not... So it sounds like you started this conversation by saying you had a very close-knit family.
We do, yeah.
They have let you leave home at 16. They dunked you in the toilet.
And put me in the dryer.
And put you in the dryer.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't want to be part of a close family.
I guess, yeah.
Now, not only are you doing Boy Meets World, you do voiceovers.
I do, yeah. I actually just got my first cartoon, which is really cool, which I know you do, cartoons all over the place.
But what's yours?
So, I'm actually the voice of the new Batman.
Wow. The animated Batman.
The animated Batman, yeah.
Wow. What is it?
Very cool.
Can you do the voice for us?
He's just, it's very deep, very guttural kind of voice. And
Let's
it's like, that's it. You just did.
That's uncanny.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
You did
like
it?
I'm somebody
Deep and guttural.
It's just deep and guttural, and it's a lot of the yelling, Look out! There's the Batman. So that's kind of cool. That's my Batman impression.
That was great. Were you going to hang around and try
Absolutely.
for the watermelon seed spitting contest?
I guess I'm the champion.
Ruth Ann is here with you,
course.
so brace yourselves. And we got little Richard coming up. Will's going to hang with us. You hang with us.
Coming up on the Howie Mandel Show, the architect of rock and roll, Little Richard. Guests are Boy Meets World's Will Friedle, and still to come, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Little Richard and the National Watermelon Seed Spitting Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Howie.
You have no idea how exciting this is for me. I don't know if I've talked a little bit about me. I'm not that big, I'm not that much of a sports fan. I don't really watch the NBA or the NFL or anything, but the one thing I never miss is the World Watermelon Seed Spitting Contest. I never miss it. We'll invite Richard and neither do these people. So call your friends, have them gather around the television set, because last weekend was the world's watermelon seed spitting contest in Luling, Texas, and we have the winners here. But before I talk to the winners, let me show you the world's largest watermelon is on my desk. That is the world's largest watermelon. That is 70 pounds and 9 ounces. And it was actually grown by the Watts brothers. It is so big, it took 2 guys to grow it. And that's the world's largest. Granted, the Ukraine didn't enter this year, but I'm sure even if they did, that would have still won. Now, this is very exciting. You are the winners, and the winners are Melissa, Mahula, and Justin Staton. These are the winners. Pardon me? Justin Staton. Justin Staton. I said it wrong. I'm sorry. I have to open up the Guinness Book of World Records to get it properly. Now, you won for 5 years old and under, right? Is this your first time in the contest, Justin?
Second.
Your second time? Now, what is involved in doing this? Did you practice a lot? Yeah?
Sunflower seeds.
You practice with sunflower seeds. In the house or outside?
Outside.
I was just being silly. And Melissa, did you practice with sunflower seeds?
No.
Now, you won the women's division.
Right.
And how many people competed in that?
Well, I actually competed with the men.
You competed with the men?
Right. There was 40 people in the contest.
Right.
And I won the women's division. So
Wow.
they took the
Well,
top
congratulations. That is terrific. And what? Well, an audience always appreciates a woman who could spit. Now, is there a trick involved? What is involved in being able to spit?
It was the first time that I had ever done it, so I was kind of pure luck, actually. So
It's really lucky. So there is no talent at all in this. Can you make it more than it actually is? Because we're doing national TV here. What grade are you in, Justin?
First.
First grade? Well, that's exciting. And do you have any brothers and sisters?
A brother.
Brother, did he do this too? No. And I
Yeah,
want to show your trophy. This is Justin's trophy. This is actually, there's a guy spitting. There's a guy spitting on a piece of marble. Put this in a prominent place, because what mother wouldn't be proud? My son, he could spit so far. Now, we're going to have a little reenactment of this. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but Will and Ruth Ann, they have targets. You have targets. And along the front section of our audience here, we have the feet marked out on flags. There's 15 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet. And you people sitting up front there, you thought you had really good seats, didn't you? Put your buckets on your heads so you can catch it. This is great. We went to see the Howie Mandel show, and they spit in my hair. But that's great. And you guys, who wants to go first? Justin, you want to go first? Why don't you go first? Take your seed, Justin. This is very exciting. Can we get some sort of drum roll or anything? You want to prepare? Get ready. On your mark, get set, spit. I don't know where it went, so I'd have to say... No, I don't think it went there. I think it went well over 70 feet. Make it bigger than it is. Make it bigger than it is. That went well over 70 feet. Are you happy with that spit? You happy? You happy with that spit? Did that go well? Okay, Melissa, it's your turn. For the ladies, try this at home in your living rooms. Go in the kitchen, get something in your mouth, and spit it right at the TV.
Well, actually, after my friends heard that I won the contest, they were doing that.
Oh, well, they do that. Everybody's going to be doing this tomorrow. Get ready for the big spit. She's got it in her mouth. On your mark, get set. Did you see where it went? Will's got it in his hair. That is fantastic. Can I thank you for being here? You're going to stick around? Am I going to try it? I'm going to try it going to commercial. We're going to have a lot of fun with Little Richard. He's wacky. Come stay with us. Let me try it.
Sisters Tia and Tamara Mowry, and Life Energizer Grandmaster Kim. And now, here's Howie.
We're going to be right there. Yes? We're on TV, you and me, Justin. And now, the originator, the emancipator, the architect of rock and roll, a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, welcome music legend, Little Richard. That's love.
Yes.
You deserve that.
Oh, yes.
You deserve that.
Oh,
you
yeah.
are a legend. To actually
yes.
meet a legend, you are a legend.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I've been waiting for it.
You've been waiting for it?
For many years.
Many years?
Yes.
Yeah, but people know it. People
Yes.
know it, and you
Yes.
played a sold-out concert. You know what I've always wanted to ask you? What does, and I probably can't say this right, what does bop, blop, the doo-wop, the blop, bing, bam, what does that mean?
Shut up, Howie.
Okay.
It's wop, bop, a loo, bop, a lop, bam, boom. What happened? I'm from Macon, Georgia, a little town in Georgia.
Right.
And it was real bad when I was a boy. It was a little apartheid there when I was a kid. And I was washing dishes at the bus station from 7 in the evening to 7 the next morning. I was making $10 a week, working 12 hours a day. And the man would bring all these big pots. Can't you imagine a pretty person with all these pots? And they wanted me to dig out all these things in the pots. I got tired of the pots. I saw too many pots. And so one day...
You're too pretty for the pots.
I screamed. He brought all these... I screamed like a white lady. Shut up. I hollered loud. And they brought all these pots out there to me. And so one day the man brought the pots. I looked at him. I said, I'm tired of these pots. I said, wop, bop, doo, bop, bop, bam, boom. He didn't know what it meant, but it meant, get out of here. I ain't coming back no more. And I got out of there. And I ain't been back no more.
Well, that's great, and we're glad you haven't.
Thank you.
Man, you are a legend. Now, what has been, you know, for me, seeing you in performance and here is a highlight. What has been a highlight for you? Do you remember?
Yes. When I went to England many years ago, Brian Epstein, his dad brought me to Liverpool. I did 15 dates for them. And I never knew...
For the Beatles?
For Brian Epstein. He had just got a group called the Beatles. And they had just got Ringo Starr. He had been with them for about 3 days.
Wow.
He had been with them. And so he wanted me to let them open the show. And so, but I never heard of these little boys. And so, and they said they wanted to sing Good Golly Miss Molly on my show. I said, no, you can't do that. They wanted to show me they could beat me singing it. Oh, and really? Paul had to, woo, he had all that covered. And so I said, well, maybe I'll let y'all, but y'all have to do something else. So I never thought that they would be famous.
Well, didn't they offer you?
They offered me 50%.
To own the Beatles?
Of the group, to own the Beatles. They said, Richard, we want you to take this tape back to VJ Records in Chicago. And to me, they sound like four Everly Brothers at the time. And I never thought nothing was going to happen because John used to do things and jump up and fan all in my room, and I had to open the door to get air in there.
What do you mean?
He would do, He would mess up my room.
John would
John would jump up in my room, but then he'd take a fan and fan all over the room. I said, you can't do that in here.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you mean? What do you mean he'd come in your room and fan all over your room?
Well, he would...
No, maybe you don't want to say. He messed up your room.
Yes, he did.
Okay, and you did not take...
And I did not like him messing up my room.
So you didn't take a percentage of the Beatles and you showed them?
No, what I did... They showed me. Yeah. What I did, I never thought they would be that big. And so when I left, I said, I'm not interested.
Wow.
And
you also threw Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix was my guitar player.
And you let him go.
And I let him go. He was my guitar player. He was 18 years old, and he was tearing down the house with the guitar. I would hear people screaming, whoa, whoa. I thought I was tearing down the house. Look over there, be Jimmy eating up his guitar. He'd be up there eating this guitar up, just playing with his teeth, and got a match and lit my amplifier. He knew I didn't have no money to get another one. He done got the whole thing.
That's why George came in and he was fanning. He was trying to get the fire out that Jimi Hendrix started.
and so what happened was, this thing was going so much, and so Jim was so great. And my brother fired him one night in New York, and when he fired him, that's when the Animals, Eric Burton's manager, got him.
The Animals.
Yes.
And that's when they got him.
That's right.
Now, I read in the paper a couple days ago that I wanted to give you something for being here, and we're going to fool around a lot more.
Yes.
I heard that you have a certain craving for certain kind of sandwiches. This is a fried peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Yes.
Is that your favorite?
Yes, that is one of... It's also Elvis, my good friend. That's his favorite, too.
Yeah, but he's not here to eat
No,
one.
he's not here to get it.
No. You know,
So
I made that
I have to take his potion.
Right. Well, you don't have to eat it right now.
No, I'll take a notion.
You'll take a what?
I'll take... Is this a potion that... when I get a notion for my devotion...
Right.
Ooh.
Is that good?
It's beautiful.
Well, maybe we'll eat it. You'll take a look. You know,
yes, I would.
But you don't have to do it right now.
Thank
We're
you.
going to talk some more, and we're going to hear from you. We're going to play some more, and everybody stick around. You're going to stick around with us. Buckle up, everybody. Now performing Good Golly, Miss Molly, Little Richard. Richard. You're the best. We'll be back with a lot more right after this. On my show, we got Mel Gibson, Drew Carey, Michael Bolton, Chris Rock, James Vanderbeek, and many more. We also have, I want to thank the guests today. I want to thank Veronica Webb. I want to thank Will Friedle on Boy Meets World. We'll watch that. I want to thank Melissa and Justin. Keep spitting. Ruth Ann Wilson. You're like my Kathy Lee. I'm like Regis. Little Richard, July 2nd at the Greek Theater with Tom Jones. Play us out here.